Hey, what's going on? It's Kevin Deers. Thanks again for checking out Everflowing Stream. I appreciate you checking out my interviews. This week on the show, I'm talking with Devin Swank from Sanguisugabogg. They are a sick, brutal death metal band from Ohio who just released their Century Media debut album, Tortured Whole, this year. If you don't know about it yet, you definitely can be expecting some brutal, guttural death metal for fans of stuff like Mortician, Old School Cannibal Corpse. You get the deal. It's heavy shit, and I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. Fun for the whole family. I appreciate the support here on Everflowing Stream. If you could rate, review, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm kind of new to video interviews and at least editing and streaming, so I appreciate all of the support and all the subscribers. Without any further ado, let's jump into the interview again. This is my interview with Sanguisugabogg vocalist Devin Swank on Everflowing Stream. Hey, what's going on? Right now I'm talking with Devin Swank, singer of a band that I think I'm getting it right, Sanguisugabogg.
You got it, man. Hell yeah.
I was saying it wrong for quite a while, and then I actually spoke with Scott from Maggot Stomp. I did an interview with him a few months back, and he got it right. He said it right.
Yeah. You got to be careful if you mispronounce it, man, because your furniture will start flying.
Oh my God. So Tortured Whole is available now on Century Media. Definitely one of the most solid, brutal death metal records in a long time. They're coming to town Saturday, November 20th. I believe their first time here in Seattle at El Corazon with Frozen Soul, Vomit Forth, and Inoculation and Noroth. Going to be a killer show.
Oh, yeah.
How are you doing, man? Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm just at my house. My roommates are here, so we've just been jamming out, smoking, and cooking. Cool,
man. So where are you based in right now?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, right on. It seems like there's a pretty solid metal scene there with Inoculation and you guys, and it seems like pretty solid.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bands to come up in the past couple years now, which is cool. Ohio's always had a rich scene. We have bands, death metal bands that date back as early as 1989. So yeah, pretty cool scene over here.
So I gotta go ahead and ask it. I'm sure you've probably been asked this so many times, but I have to ask for our listeners: what the fuck is a Sanguisugabogg?
It's a blood-sucking toilet.
Oh, all right. There you go. What does it come from? What's the origin?
So sanguisuga is Latin for bloodsucker or a leech.
Okay.
And then bog is just like an old lavish term for a toilet.
Okay, I like it. Right on, man. Who came up with that? Who in the band? Did you come up with that?
No, our original guitarist, Cameron Boggs. He actually came up with it.
Okay, right on, man. Okay, so I usually save this for the last question, but it seems like you guys are very, it seems like you guys would have good stories about this. So if you can, show us, but if not, tell us, pick a scar on your body and tell us the story of how you got it.
Okay. So I don't know if you'd be able to see it good enough because I have a beard now, but I have a pretty gnarly scar in my chin.
Okay. And the beard's covering it, but what's it from?
Yeah. But when it's shorter, I have a line and everything that's through it. But it's from when I was 15. So that's the first scar that came to mind. When I was 15, I got in a pretty gnarly fist fight. Some dude was running his mouth and jumped my privacy fence, and we were talking smack back and forth, and we both got the best of each other, and my chin ended up hitting the edge of a trailer that you would use to pull 4-wheelers and stuff like that.
Jesus.
So yeah, we duked it out in my backyard.
Did you have to get stitches and everything?
No, I didn't.
No stitches. All right.
No, I just ended up doing stuff with what I had at home.
Right on, man. Well, I'm catching you at home now, but you guys are gearing up to go out on this big tour. You guys just did a few dates with Goat Whore, is that right?
No, that was Frozen Soul.
Oh,
We did.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
I
you're
got
fine.
you two guys mixed up.
We did. We did do a mini tour a few weeks back with our buddies in 200 Stab Wounds. So,
dude, yes,
200
Stab Wounds. That's killer, man. Their shit is awesome, and you guys are like I said, they'll get about to gear up for this tour. Things are kind of wacky right now. There's a lot of different protocols, state to state. Here in Washington, we're probably gonna all have to be masked up for this show, but we're gonna do what we got to do. Are you feeling safe with going out on the road? Like, are you feeling okay with how things are, looking?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's always best to stay optimistic. Yep. So, if I start worrying myself already before anything's really guaranteed to happen or not, then there's no point in that. So pretty optimistic and positive about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we toured up until like the day before our lockdown started, and we were one of the first states to lock down. And I haven't gotten tested. Every time we go out, I come back and get a rapid test just to be sure.
Yep.
And I haven't had a positive one yet, so it's pretty good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's that bog monster who's keeping you safe, dude. He's protecting the band.
Yeah, I feel like with as many house shows and like hole in the wall bars I've played, I'm pretty much immune to it now. So
absolutely, man. You guys are grimy. You guys are immune to it, man. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. That's a big knock on wood. That's a big knock on wood. So, you guys, though, obviously this past 17 months, 16 months or so, there haven't been any shows people have been able to play until, this most recent kind of bunch of shows that you guys have played since things have started to open up. But during that time, you guys signed with Century Media, one of the biggest metal labels in the world. And then you released this killer album, and then you released these music videos on Troma, which has got to be like a dream come true for you guys.
Absolutely.
So 100%. Let's go. How'd you guys get on the radar of Century Media and whatnot? Because this is your first album, your first official like full length album. How far back did talks with Century Media start?
So they were interested in us a couple months after we dropped our EP demo.
Cool.
And had a couple people, reps and stuff, Facebook message us, and we were just kind of spitballing with the idea of joining on with them. Then later on, Frozen Soul ended up joining the ranks, and then while we were on our first tour, they were messaging us and pressing us pretty hard, wanting to get us. So we suited up and got a management team and everything to back us up, and they helped us put pen to paper so we knew what we were getting ourselves into. And then we signed the deal officially just around the end of July of last year, and filmed those music videos in September. And we didn't want to come out and say that we were on this label until we had something to show for it. So it was cool. Like the same time that they dropped the music video, they also did the label announcement and everything too. So it was really cool.
That's awesome, man. It kind of goes all together and like have this big announcement, and you can drop some stuff. So, I mean, just the fact that this label has such an iconic, discography, that like just the fact that you guys are on the same label as Napalm Death, like that's crazy, dude. So that's sick.
Yeah. Huge deal for me. There's so many CDs that I think of too, and then it doesn't hit me until I dive further deep into them, and then I realize that Century Media put them out.
Yep.
And to be a part of that the ranks with so many bands that I've looked up to is unreal, man. Like At the Gates. Yep. Now they have I Hate God. Yep. They've had Napalm Death for a couple years. Lots of killer bands. Broken Hope.
Yeah.
Another.
It's really, so many good bands. Yep.
Oh yeah. And that's been it's been really wild ride so far, and we're stoked. You know, everyone over there seems to be jacked on us, and we got to meet with their VP of A&R a couple weeks ago, and yeah, nothing but nice stuff to say. And we shot the shit. He's a really cool dude.
That's awesome. I believe from what I've heard of that guy on podcasts and stuff, I mean, he's an old head with like he did like a hardcore fanzine back in the day. Like so that guy he knows his shit.
Yeah, Mike Gitter. Yeah, he's a huge punk kid.
Hell yeah. So you guys, let's talk a little bit about this Troma. So you guys obviously you must have met with the man behind Troma. I forget his name. What's his name?
Lloyd Kaufman.
Lloyd Kaufman. Did you meet with Lloyd?
Actually, we didn't get to, only because you know, that was fall of last year. He was he was potentially you know, high risk for contracting, and so to play it safe, he actually filmed his scene separate from us.
Okay.
But as far as you know, everybody else that works for Troma, we got to meet them, hang out with them, and everything. It was really cool. It was cool to even see the little cameo from Lloyd Kaufman in our video too. So that was awesome.
Absolutely, man. And if you have not seen the video, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there is a lot of penis, like penis monsters. So you got to watch this video. It's not safe for work, but who came up with the monster penises? Who came up with that idea? Was that you?
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
So I was, we were, you know, we didn't really know what was going to be negotiated into our label contract. We had lawyers and everything pick it apart. So
the dong clause.
Yeah. So like I made up this thing that I was like, man, we should see if Century Media would set aside a budget so we could have big dick surgery. Because we can't be on a big label with our baby dicks. Yeah. And the rest of the band just like looked at me and was like, dude, that would be a killer video. It's just like we had this back alley procedure done, you know, and our hogs grow, and then all of a sudden they turn on us and try to attack a whole venue full of people was the original idea. And then, you know, we pitched that over to them. They loved it, and they're just as fucked up as we are. And they took what we had in mind and ran with it and made it even cooler than we could have ever imagined. So it was awesome.
So what was the label's reaction?
I know what they think about it now. They keep giving us shit for it, telling us jokes and everything about it. It's like, you know, not every music video needs to be about dicks. And it's like, really? Why not?
What you signed us, dude.
But you know, at the time they were really stoked. They're all big Troma fans and everything too.
Cool.
Yeah, we'd like to you know, continue working with them. Probably, you know, potentially come up with some cool storylines and stuff as like the music videos progress and everything.
Killer, man. Well, okay, so I wanted to ask you a little bit about you know, kind of like your history of metal and stuff. When did you discover death metal, and when did you discover like underground metal?
So I've been into death metal per se. So I was real young. My dad, there was not that much of a age gap between the two of us. You know, he was a teenager when I was born. So he was a teenager in the 90s, and he was into bands like Creator, Obituary, Sepultura.
Wow, that's killer.
All kinds of bands that I was introduced really, really young. And then it didn't start getting more heavier and crazier until I was about 14. I was hanging out. I still hang out with him till this day. He's been my best friend since I was like 7 years old, but his name's Ricky. And he got me into Dying Fetus when I was 13. Yes. And he gave me this disc, told me to jam it when I got home. First time I heard it, I was like, man, I don't get it.
Yep.
You know? And then I just kept it in my CD player long enough to where it just, I became attached to it. Mm-hmm. And then from, you know, just like looking up videos of that band on the internet at 14 and stuff, I was able to find like other bands and get into some brutal death metal and gore grind. You know, I got into Devourment around that same time too.
Yeah.
Bands like Rompaprop and Rectal Smegma and
Disgorge, probably, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, Disgorge especially. Disgorge was jamming a lot from this band around the same area called Condemned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, all kinds of stuff. Cinerary, you know, later on in high school. Bands like Lividity, Gorgasm, Disavowed, Pyamia, bands like that. It just really gravitated towards me. And for like years, I was like, man, I want to be in a band that's like this, you know. And everyone would say that they like death metal, but they would mean some like symphonic, weird stuff, or some really like melodic death metal. And it's just like deathcore. Yeah, that's typically what they mean. And it just wasn't clicking with me until I was 19 in college. It wasn't my first band I was in, but it was my first like brutal death metal band I was in, and became friends with those guys because we all had similar taste and things that every band I would start or try to bring up from the ground up would fizzle out. And then I joined a death metal band called Limb Splitter, and it's like a bunch of older cats that like the same kind of music I do. Was in that band for a couple years, and that's when I met Cody and met Cameron, and we started Sanguisugabogg.
So when did you discover, you know, being that you have like this dad showing you all this killer music, and then you're just getting into more extreme music, when did you realize that you personally can do this? And when did you get the confidence to, like, you know, grab a microphone or just start growling? Because you have a very, very strong death metal growl.
Thanks, man. You know, I look at death metal vocals kind of like the act of making love. Like you you learn from watching other people do it, you know. So I pulled a lot of influence from Corpse Grinder, and more importantly, Frank Mullen from Suffocation. That is that's hands down the pinnacle, best death metal vocalist out there. No one could do it better. And
also his onstage banter is like the best, like absolutely the best.
Yeah, his is always presence. Great. Yeah, he's so energized, and he just, like, I don't know, when he goes all out, man, it really shakes me. I haven't yet to see Suffocation without him. Yeah, I know what. I'm so show hungry that I will at this point,
for sure.
But every time I did see them, and I've seen them 4 times. They've had Frank. It's been a killer set every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was 17 when I first gave it a try. I grew up down the street from a buddy that was a drummer, and he had a friend that didn't live anywhere close to us, so it wasn't anything to start a band, that played some really good guitar. And I remember one night we all came over to hang out, and it was like my first time ever taking a swing at some death growls and stuff, and boy, I sucked. So I feel like because I didn't really like look into techniques or anything. I think I just listened to it enough and practiced enough with other people and by myself that somehow I just ended up being able to develop how to do it eventually. I personally think that, you know, I haven't gotten really good at it since maybe the last 2 years. Other people tell me I'm full of shit. Maybe that's just like me being hard on myself, but yeah, I think right now I've been able to master my craft, so to speak. You know, I can also do weird guttural, almost Devourment style vocals now, which took a long ass time. But yeah, like I think when you like all styles of death metal and it's all you listen to for the most part, I think it in some way it just comes naturally.
And it's like a muscle. You just keep working at it, man. You're just lifting. You're doing
That's
heavy
right.
lifting with your voice.
That's right.
So you, I'm assuming like most metalheads probably have a metal t-shirt collection.
Yeah. I have a huge one.
What is your most valued or most prized, like personally? I'm not talking about like as far as like money wise, but your favorite, your one that you would never get rid of.
Oh shit. Damn, there's so many.
You can name a few of them.
Okay. Well, yeah, that'll work then. Damn, I got it's weird because it's like obscure, so no one's really heard of this band. But I got a really cool Peshmerga shirt. Yeah. They're from Illinois.
Okay.
And that's the cool thing too, is like, you know, you wouldn't hear about them unless you like really dove in deep. So that's why I like it personally. And then I have a really cool Angel Corpse shirt.
Nice.
And it's my family hates it, but it's Jesus being crucified upside down, and he's being ripped apart by demons. I got that shirt when I was 16.
Oh,
so
wow.
like,
I bet they really liked it then. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to wear it under my polo at school and stuff, and then I'd like pull it up, and be like, dude, look what I got. So
hardcore.
Those ones are really cool. I got some old school like first album shirts and demo shirts. Also really like that Masticate to Dominate Gorgasm shirt that I wear in one of the music videos. My Unleash shirt, that's always like my go-to.
Nice.
And then this like weird band that they had like 2 demos out and then a compilation called Ossuary from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I got one of their shirts and another one of my favorite bands, Scattered Remnants. I have their Procreating Mass Carnage shirt, and I have their it's like this navy blue t-shirt of theirs with like a maze logo. I'm trying to remember. I think it's their Inherent Perversion shirt. I don't even wear it. It's so prized. But yeah, I'm a big merch freak. I also have like a bunch of Slayer stuff, Metallica stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Nice, man. Yeah, I have some t-shirts that, you know, I don't wear. Like I have some older Metallica shirts that I just, at this point, I don't want to rip them up or anything. I just keep them away. I'm like, this is, maybe if I come down to it and I really have to pay rent and I'm about to be homeless, I can sell this. But other than that, it's staying in the bin.
Oh yeah, I see all the shelves behind you too, man. You got quite the collection.
CDs. Yep, some CDs. But I was talking. I interviewed Ken from Ken's Death Metal Crypt. I'm sure you're familiar with Ken.
Favorite channel on YouTube, man.
That guy has quite the music collection. So shout out to Ken.
Yeah, he's got a goddamn museum, dude, over there. It's insane.
It's the Crypt.
That's right.
All right, Devin. So I don't want to stay. I don't want to keep you all night. I know you're hanging with your friends, you're smoking, and you're hanging out. But I do have one more question for you, dude. So we all know the big 4 of American thrash: Anthrax, Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth. Yeah. Okay.
Megadeth,
Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer. So what, in your opinion, your personal big 4 of death metal? And it doesn't have to be American death metal, just all. It
doesn't have to be American. Okay.
Yep, and just your
that
personal,
makes it harder.
your favorites.
Okay. So I mean, I would say the most influential bands and for the genre in itself. So definitely Cannibal Corpse. They were ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have to be active?
No.
Okay.
Of all time.
Death, of course. I would even say, I would say Entombed over Dismember, because I'd say they're the most, Entombed's probably the most influential Swedish death metal band.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say Suffocation, man. I'd have to.
Yes.
The Kings, the Titans.
Absolutely, man. There's and all of those bands spawned subgenres within themselves of death metal. So
absolutely, yeah. The genre wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for those bands.
Exactly. All right, Devin, thank you so much for taking the time, man. What's the best way to support Sanguisugabogg right now?
Yep, you could buy some merch or a record on our website. It's sanguisugabogg.com. We also have disc, vinyl, and CDs and stuff available through Century Media Records' website. You can also come and see us on tour. We'll be on tour with Frozen Soul, Vomit Forth, and Inoculation fall this year. We'll have a bunch of stuff, bunch of new stuff that will be debuting to people. And yeah, follow us on social media. We have a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and if you don't buy music, at least listen to us on Spotify or iTunes or
and buy a t-shirt.
Whatever you use. Yeah.
I like it. Devin, thank you so much, man. I'll see you at the El Corazon show on November 20th.
Sounds good, Kevin. Look forward to seeing you, man.